10 Interesting Facts about Somalia. Somalia is a country located in eastern Africa, bordered by Ethiopia to the west, Djibouti to the northwest, and Kenya on its southwest. Somalia is a country with a rich history. The history of the Somali people dates back many centuries. The first time the word Somali was mentioned in a history book was 3,500 years ago, when the Queen of Egypt, Hatshepsut, sent a fleet of 5 large ships and a crew of 250 men to Somalia, the land of Punt. Even though the exact location of what was once known as the land of Punt is debatable, the land of Punt still remains as one of the most celebrated African ancient kingdoms. Punt means the land of spices from the aromatic plants that grow along the East African coast. Ancient Egyptian texts called this area the land of the gods. Somalia has faced several civil tensions since 1991, when the central government collapsed, but in recent years things have started to improve, and Somalia has begun to recover from its 3 decades-long war. In this video, we are going to look at some of the most interesting facts about Somalia and its people. Please do not forget to like and sharing this video with your friends and family. Number 1. Somalia is one of Africa's most culturally homogeneous countries. While most African countries have ethnically diverse populations, Somalia is one of the continent's most ethnically homogeneous nations. 85% of the country's population comprises of ethnic Somalis. They are mainly found in northern Somalia. The ethnic minorities are primarily found in the southern part of the country, and most of them are from Swahili Bantu communities, and communities that migrated to Somalia from southern Ethiopia. Number 2. Somalia has the longest coastline in mainland Africa. Somalia has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean and the Gulf of Aden. The coast of the country stretches 3,025 kilometers, 1,879 miles, the longest of all countries in mainland Africa. The Indian Ocean and the Gardafu Channel borders the country to the east, while the Gulf of Aden is on the north of Somalia. Its maritime zone possesses one of the most important large marine ecosystems, the Somali Current marine ecosystems in the Indian Ocean, which includes 6 types of birds, mammals, and reptiles. Number 3. Somalia, a Pan-African nation during its glory days. One of the hardly spoken history is how Somalia had actively participated in many Pan-African movements. In 1972, Somalia mediated a peace deal to prevent Uganda and Tanzania from going to war. The then Somalia president, Said Barre, brokered a regional peace deal that delayed the war from breaking out by about 5 years. This was achieved after a Somali delegation led a peace negotiation deal between Uganda and Tanzania, in Nairobi, Kenya, and then Somalia volunteered to deploy its troops on the borders of the 2 nations to maintain peace. Apart from that, Somalia also supported independence movements in Kenya, Uganda and the South Africa anti-apartheid movement. Number 4. Somalia has one of the highest fertility rates in the world. An average of about 6 children are born per woman in Somalia. That is a huge figure indeed. The culture of the country encourages childbearing. It is considered to be the primary duty of a married woman in Somalia. Somalia is a country of 21 million people, and by 2050, the country is expected to host close to 35 million people. Number 5. Somalia has one of Africa's lowest HIV infection rates. While HIV/AIDS plagues most of the African continent, claiming lives of 1 million people every year, and putting significant burden to these countries' economies, Somalia is more fortunate in this regard. Somalia's HIV/AIDS adult prevalence rate is only 0.4%, making it one of the lowest on the continent. Number 6. Somali women are one of the most beautiful women in Africa. With their oval face shapes, high cheekbones, almond-shaped eyes, clear brown skin of varying shades, and tall slim builds which combined seems striking. The Somali women are regarded as one of the most beautiful women in Africa. Apart from their physical looks, Somali women are known to be submissive to their partners, and do fulfill their duties as daughters, mothers, and wives in their families. Women in Somalia form a key part of Somali society, with clearly defined important roles in the family structure. Number 7. Somalis are known for their entrepreneurship attributes. The Somalis are among the most successful entrepreneurs on the continent. On average, Somalis outperform traditional local traders wherever they live. Somalis own successful businesses in Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and etc. In America's state of Minnesota, residents can attest to this fact, despite Somalis facing many difficulties when they arrived in the state. Somalis now own many small firms, ranging from money transfer, clothing stores to jeweler shops, just to name a few. One main reason to Somali's success in business is that the Somali community operates in strong social networks, where trust plays a significant part when accessing business capital. In addition to this, in the social circles, loans are made interest-free according to Islamic law and often provided without contracts. Number 8. The Somali cave paintings are one of the most famous in Africa. Las Gale cave paintings of Somalia, found near Hargeisa, Las Gale has some of the region's most ancient cave paintings. The paintings date between 9,000 and 3,000 years BC. The paintings are among the most famous ones of their kind in Africa. The vivid rock art of the Las Gale depicts cattle in ceremonial robes, a domesticated dog, giraffes, humans, and etc. The paintings are also in well-preserved condition since they are naturally protected by granite overhangs. Number 9. The most widely recognized symbol in Somalia is the camel. A camel, an even-toed ungulate in the genus Camelus that bears distinctive fatty deposits, known as humps on its back. Camels have long been domesticated as livestock providing food and textiles. The Somali culture is closely intertwined with camels. This is because the camel provides meat, milk, transportation, income, and status for those who own one. Apart from that, camel meat is also a delicacy in Somali cuisine. Number 10. Madagascar is named after Somali capital. Madagascar, an African country that got its name from the Somali capital city of Mogadishu. Famous 13th century explorer, Marco Polo, confused the island of Madagascar with Mogadishu and called it Madaga Isker, a corrupted transliteration of Mogadishu.